Hello.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to that, I apologise. All I made was a horrendous noise down the microphone. It wasn't even words. It was just. It's another episode of the delightful Pubcast, and bloke, I found this in the garage.
Fucking hell. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've watched Hotfix and he was on that monster assault shit, it's literally an hour later now, and we're fucking doing. Got more.
I've got more.
Tea, look, in a full trade cup.
I'm not gonna lie, my sleeping pattern has kind of been ruined the last couple of weeks. I don't really know why.
What is your? I'll tell you my sleeping pattern if you tell me yours. Show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Well, my sleeping pattern is go to bed about 1 o'clock in the morning, lie there until about 3:30, unable to sleep, give up, watch something on my iPad until about 4:30, then finally drop off, and then my wife's alarm goes off at 6 because she's got to get up and go to work. At which point I can't get back to sleep, and I spend the rest of the day in some sort of like fugue state, just like
existing.
And then I have an energy drink or a coffee, and then I feel better, and then repeat again. Do you remember I had this a couple of years ago? I think it was in the old house I was in, where I had like a couple of weeks where I just could not sleep, and I'm having it again now. But last time I was given sleeping pills to help. Didn't help in the slightest.
Oh.
No, it didn't help in the slightest. It was just shit. It just meant that I was tired all the time, and nothing stopped me from being tired instead of actually sleeping at night. So I'm just powering through it because I know that after like maybe another week or so, it'll just stop and I'll be fine again. So I'm just powering through it. But it just means I'm drinking a lot of Monster, but only on Thursdays.
That's not good.
Because
only on Thursdays.
Well, only on Thursdays because we record we're here for like 5-6 hours or something in total. And it's like constant. Whereas if I'm doing recording or we're like recording something in the evening, that's like maybe an hour, something like that. Or if I'm by myself, it's like an hour to 2 hours. And I can take gaps, like I can just stop if I want to in the middle of the game or whatever I'm doing. And then I can just carry on because I can edit it out. Whereas this is like, it doesn't flow as well.
Full on.
If you stop talking and there's like a big gap, I can edit it out, but you can tell, and it kind of ruins the flow, and it doesn't sound very good. So
we don't normally do that anyway, just like pro blow. Yeah. He's right. What he's saying is, ladies and gentlemen, where things like streaming and like recording podcasts and stuff like this, it's full on. It isn't like you can't just faff around. Like it might take an hour to get some footage together for me to do like an Overwatch video, but then it could take me another 4 hours to edit the video. But it's not 4 hours solid. I've destroyed myself. It's an hour here, then do something else. And yeah. Anyway, my sleeping pattern is not like I never found it hard to get to sleep. I haven't. Which, like, I always go to sleep and wake up. Sometimes I can wake up and be like, "Oh, what the fuck has gone on?" It doesn't feel like I've been asleep. But generally, what's been happening to me now is I'm getting up around about, I'd say about 8:30, 9 o'clock in that band, and then I faff around for like half an hour. Then I'll take my gear out, and then I'll faff around a bit more, and then I'll start tweeting. You'll see me on Twitter around about this time. And then I'll turn up for my whatever I'm doing on Unit Lost, go around faffing throughout the day. Although I have made a point now to actually eat stuff and at like about 4 o'clock or something like that. So I'm not eating nothing and then just get into 6 o'clock, stream until 9 or whatever, and then be like, oh, do some other shit. And then it's like, oh, it's like 11 o'clock. I should get something to eat. So
we'll either record some stuff in the evening or we'll just play a game like Overwatch or something. And it'll be like 9, 9:30, and I'll be saying to you like, give me a shout when you've had something to eat. And then every time I look at my phone, because I'm usually on my phone or my iPad downstairs at this point, and then I look at the time and I'm like, it's fucking 9:30. I should not be saying give me a shout when you've had something to eat. What kind of time is that for something to eat? Jesus Christ! It's like
but it was making me feel shit
like 3 hours ago, and you're only just about to have yours. And it's like, god damn.
And then I'll be wondering why I feel like shit, because a lot of the time I just put it down to Crohn's. It's like, oh well, it's Crohn's. It does give you lack of energy. But then when I started thinking about it, I'm not actually even eating anything here. What's going on? I'm having like a meal just before I'm basically settling down for the night. Anyway, so the time goes on. And me and you might faff around playing games, whatever. Then it comes to midnight. So generally we're just looking at drooling at fucking Warhammer models. Then it's like
going to Forge World. The most dangerous expedition known to man. The trip to the Forge World website.
Well, we go then, and then I'm faffing around on the computer still for a bit longer. Usually come off the computer about 1-ish.
Yeah.
1:30. But I'm not actually finished then, because then it's iPad time. Then it's time to go my emails and go onto Skype and all that shit. And then before I know it, it's like 2, 2:30, and I then go to sleep straight away, which is good. I don't have this like thing where, and then I'll wake up immediately at like 9:45, 9 o'clock ish in the morning. But I'm annihilating myself with screen brightness all the time, and I don't feel like my eyes feel like shit. And some days, most days, I don't have a headache when I wake up, but some days I have a crushing headache, and I think it's got to be because I'm like these lights I've got turned on now, and the way the shack is, it's like this all day, even when it's night. So I'm sitting here like this, even if I turn these lights off, which I can kind of show you guys. So if I turn these lights off. Like that. It might look dark on the camera, but I can assure you it's still kind of quite bright in here.
Yeah.
It's just because the camera's like been toned down a bit. So I think it might just be... okay, that's bad, but I think the iPad is the thing which is killing me, because I'm sitting there with that blasting its crazy blue light into my face, and I'm like typing away on it, and then I'm like, oh, what's the time to go to bed? But one thing that really annoys me, and I don't think I'll ever be able to get out of this, is this notion of like almost like wasting time. I know there is value in taking a break, but things which just have no impact on taking a break, like sending an email to someone or looking around for this or that or whatever, taking a break affects how creative you are with the videos that you make and the stuff. So you do need to take breaks. But then I'm spending so much time recording videos, then editing them, and then streaming, and then basically sending emails, and then going to sleep, then waking up, then it'll kill me. I know it'll kill me. Like, and I have to pace myself a bit better now.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't stream on Tuesday this week. That was because I was waiting for a phone call, Skype call, and it was going to come in anywhere between 7 or 9, which was a really stupid 2-hour time frame. But that's in the middle of the stream, and I was like, I best not stream in case the call comes like an hour into the stream. That I feel like that was shit. But that meant I sat there and I thought, well, what do I do? So I just started putting my Warhammer models together. That was me having downtime, which I'm terrible, really terrible. Not because the worst thing is, my downtime might be the Warhammer models, but I fucking stream it. I stream it. The downtime is going out with McGee on the bike or just taking my bike out. But even that has suffered a bit recently because Overwatch destroyed me. Because I was playing that in the day, and then I'm like streaming, and you know how it goes. So don't feel sorry for me, ladies and gentlemen, because by all means, I haven't got it's not an overly hard life, I'd say, but it is a very time-intensive life. And don't ever for one moment think that anybody who's making YouTube videos for a living or is streaming for a living, they're working on it all the time. And this is a reason why you don't see thousands and thousands of people with massively popular streams, because it takes all day. Like, I mean, hell, the streaming thing I said to you, when I come over your house the other day, I was like, what gets me with streaming is I should probably stream in the morning as well. Like, do like a little morning delight or something. Because I could do a stream from like 10 till 1 or something like that, UK time. That would get people in from, I don't know, maybe Australians could watch that. Yeah, because it'd be like 10 o'clock at night for them, wouldn't it? Like, so that might work for them better, and, other time zones. And then I could stream again later on in the day. But then I started thinking, well, if I do that, then I'm not going to be able to just come out of that stream, go straight into recording for, let's say, Overwatch videos, then come out of that and go straight into the other stream. Because what I don't do is provision time for food, time for anything that isn't related to what. And I've been like this for years, though. I don't think it's ever going to change.
Yeah, it's a really difficult habit to break out of when you're just like, I don't need to do that. I'll just do that later. I'll do it later, like especially with eating. It's like you say you'll do it later, and then it gets to like 5 o'clock. You haven't eaten anything since 9.
I fucking love food, though. And then what I'll do is I'll have
crash, and you're like,
I'll tell you what I had yesterday. Fucking hell. This is what I ate yesterday. So in the morning, I had a 5-egg omelette with spring onions, cheese, and Worcester sauce on it, right? Well, Lee and Perrin sauce. That was nice, but that was in the morning. That was like when I woke up, 10 minutes after waking up. It's the first thing I do. I have to have something. Then I had nothing until after the stream. So I had so at like 9 o'clock I had a baked spud with beans and cheese in it, right? And then after that it was about 11 or something like that, and me and you were going to play Overwatch or something, and I said I'm just going to get a snack. Do you know what I had? Spaghetti bolognese. Oh yes, this is great at this time of night. So I'm eating enough, but I'm eating it at like crazy times of day. Like I'm just fucking eating it all at the end of the night, and it's like,
then you're sleeping
this
on
morning,
it and not burning it off as well, because it's like you're not doing any exercise when you sleep. It's just like,
but I'll do exercise when I get on my bike. So it's like I do kind of burn it off. I did this morning. I've had spam, 5 slices of spam that were grilled with a fried egg on some bread, and I cut it in two. That was my bread. That's all I've had so far. And I've had this tea. Oh no, I tell a lie. And I like these little tins of flavored tuna you can get from Aldi, like little small tins. I ate one of them, and I'm drinking this, and I drank some other pop, but that doesn't really count as food. So I'm feeling a bit hungry now. I've got to be honest, because it's 20 to 4 right now in our time. In the past or whenever the hell we're recording this, you're watching it. And so it's almost like I need somebody to say to me, "Oh, you dickhead, eat something." I know I'm hungry, but it isn't like I'm putting off eating food. It's like, this needs to get done, so I'll start doing it.
Yeah.
That needs to get done, I'll start doing it. But then I look at, oh shit, it's this time, oh god.
Yeah, I tend to try and be a lot more controlled when I eat, because if I know full well that if I start skipping meals and stuff, then part of the problem that I have with whole depression things, it's very easy to get into the habit of doing something that's really bad for you. And it's like, oh, I can't be bothered, or oh, I don't need to. And I'll do it with food.
What, so not eating food is something to do with depression?
Well, I'll actually get to the point where it's like, I won't have had breakfast or lunch for like a week. And it's like, it's noticeable because I'm like drained.
A week?
I'm totally drained. I'm like, I've got no energy. I feel really shitty. And my wife's like, what did you eat for lunch today? And I'll just go, well, I just didn't have anything. I just didn't feel like it. And she's like, well, that's fucking stupid, isn't it? Well, yeah, it is. Because it's also like you drop weight as well very quickly if you don't eat, obviously, because that's just what happens if you don't eat. So like I'll be getting to the end of a week or so, and then I'll realise I get up and I'll take the dog for a walk. Then I'll sit down in front of the computer. I'll do whatever. Sort of, I would try and have lunch about 12 o'clock, because then that keeps me going up until when my wife gets home. But then it would be like, I'll get to like 1 o'clock and be like, oh, I don't have anything to eat. I'll give it half an hour. And then half an hour's gone past, and I'm recording something else, or editing something else, or looking at something else. And then like she comes home, and I'm feeling hungry, and I can't work out why. And then it's like, oh shit, I didn't fucking eat anything, did I? But I'll do it for like days at a time. And then it starts to drag you down because you haven't got the energy, have you? You just haven't got like the intake.
It's like a cumulative effect, sir.
Yeah. So I like get to the end of the week and I'm just like, I'm knackered. I can't. And also, it affects my ability to sleep as well, not eating properly. Like if I don't have enough to eat, then I'll wake up feeling really, really hungry all the time. But then I'm not going to get out of bed and go and get something to eat at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I just lie there. But then that means I'm more tired the next day. But then I get too tired to actually go to sleep. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I also had a microwavable curry yesterday as well. I forgot about that. So I do...
Was it a korma? Tell me it was a korma.
No, it was chicken tikka masala, I think. It was quite nice, actually. It was from Aldi. See, I was in Aldi shopping because I quite like Aldi. And I've always gone past, I don't really like ready meals, really. But I looked at it and I'm like... Because this is, again, the trap of a filthy modern society where I don't want to waste an hour making something to eat because I just want to eat it right now and I want to carry on with my work. And it's especially bad for me because the work's right next to the cooker, basically. So I'm like, I ain't got time for this. Fuck that shit. So I'm going to carry on doing whatever I'm doing. And then I want something quick to eat. So I bought a couple of this is where that spaghetti bolognese came from. That was one as well. And they were quite nice, to be fair. I was like, this is actually better than I thought it would be. But yeah, I don't know whether I want to go down that route of a horror show.
The thing is, I quite enjoy
ready
cooking,
meal.
So I don't mind spending the time doing it.
I enjoy cooking. Yeah, I enjoy it. Like I can actually cook fairly decent, but it's just the time. Like I just want to be. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Kirioth, it's the 26th episode of the Pubcast.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, it requires a name.
Well, we had the what is it? Unfeasibly far north. Was it unfeasibly?
Yeah, unfeasibly far north 24th, and then
herewith 25th, which just didn't make no sense whatsoever. We're gonna do for 26th. The I don't
Chicken
know
dipper, kipping liquor, 20 sicker.
That's
don't even make sense.
No, that's terrible.
But then since when it's time
to do the Google game.
No.
What rhymes with?
Oh, just type it all in. Don't read the autocorrect, please. Don't read the autocorrect.
The 6th. Okay. There are no pure rhymes for 6th. There are no end rhymes for 6th. Near rhymes are fixed, mixed, nixed, affixed, transfixed. The transfixed 26th.
Yeah, but we've got to put something stupid in front Like, you know, I would usually do something like sexually transfixed.
So Wix rhymes with 26th. That's not true at all. The
unequivocally transfixed.
This website's amazing. They've said "kick against the pricks" as a possible rhyme for 6.
Kick against the pricks.
The kick against the pricks 26th episode.
You bunch of pricks watching the 26th episode.
The transfixed pricks 26th episode of it.
Do it.
Yeah,
do it.
That'll be it. It's fine. That'll do.
It is done. It is done. Hey, yeah. So talking of food and all of that shit. How about this then? It's got nothing to do with food. So I've been watching, and I don't know why, but I've been watching The Walking Dead, and I have no idea why. Now I've watched The Walking Dead. I missed the first series.
You say it's got nothing to do with food. In fairness, all of the human characters are food.
True. To the zombie guys.
Yeah.
So.
That segue though, that was
it was fucking shit, bloke. It was almost as good as an actual segue.
The totally shit 26.
So I've been watching this show. I missed the first series when it came out, and I missed it for like basically the third year the show was on. I thought, you know what? I was bored and I needed something to watch, and I watched it, and I'm like, this ain't too bad. The second series was alright, third series, yeah. Now I think it's on the 6th series, and it became one of those. It almost became like tradition to me. Like I'd watch it like really late at night after I'd done everything. You know, it'd be like 1 o'clock. I'd be like, right, I'll just watch the fucking next episode of the stupid Walking Dead. But it is so bad, and I need to get out. Like, I don't know why I'm still here. Like usually when I watch something
for the sake of it.
Yeah, usually when I watch something and it goes shit, I leave, I bail, I've got to go. But this, I'm like, oh god,
committed.
Dead.
Thoroughly
so
committed.
I watch it, and then after I've watched it, I'm like, I've sat here for 45 minutes, watched this, and it was completely shit. And I'm like, why have I done that? Like it's just like it's got to the point now. American shows do this a lot, where they've got a main story, but they're frightened to advance the main story because it'll obviously end the show. So what they do is they have these crazy like spin-off episodes where it'll be, oh, let's have the origin episode for this guy. And they just invent a total thing for this guy's, where he came from, how he came to be. And there's like loads of guys in the little camp they've got. And it's like, great, I don't care. Or it'll be, here's a main character. What's his name? Norman Regis, is it? The guy from Silent Hill? Regis, yeah, that guy. Yeah. Him, right? So the last episode, he was the main guy like in that episode, basically. He just comes across 3 totally random people who you have never seen before, and the whole episode is him and these 3 people. And obviously, in traditional fashion, most of them get killed. He doesn't die because he's the main character, and off he goes at the end. And it's like I'm watching it, and I'm like, that was just a pointless episode. And it happens a lot. It's happened a hell of a lot. In fact, it's happened basically apart from one episode, which I'm not dropping spoilers here, guys. I've tried not to anyway, but. It's a really piss boring episode, and I almost turned it off. And then suddenly, this guy just puts a machete into this woman's head, and it was fucking funny as shit. And then people were just getting murdered everywhere. I was like, oh, this is good. I
don't know what it is with American shows. They cannot end them, can they? They
just keep going.
It's like at first I thought that it was down to this is obviously making a load of money, therefore we want to keep it going. And I think that's probably part of it.
Yeah, but it's also, like AAA game development. Yeah,
I think there's also like a thing just in that culture of the hero wins. Like every time, the hero always wins. It's like, and they've got to find a way to make it so that in this ridiculous sort of environment where the hero is obviously not going to win, because how do you even win in a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah,
he just keeps going because that way he never loses. He's never seen to be like crushed or wrecked or anything, but also there's no happy ever after ending that you can get in that environment, and so it just goes on and on and on and on. And it's like, look at I Am Legend. That's a good example of this. American-made film, all like American actors all over the shop. Will Smith's in it. I think it was in the original ending for that film. I might have got it confused with another one, but I'm pretty sure that there's.
No, it is that film. Yeah, it did have a different ending, and they changed it, didn't they?
Yeah, it wasn't a happily ever after ending. I mean, I know technically the hero dies, but his sacrifice means the woman and the child can go on and find the survivors' enclave up in the north. The original
Which they do, don't they? At the end, it shows that, doesn't it?
Yeah, the original ending is not like that at all. It's like it's just it. He just dies. That's it. That's the end of the film. And it's like, yeah, because that's probably how that would work out. Because for a start, you know what? That film really pissed me off because I saw the film and I was like, this is a bit shit. This was not very good. And I didn't understand certain things. Like, he talks about all the way through how they're not intelligent anymore and how they're just they're just instinctive. They're just animals. They're not people. But maybe you can find a cure. You know, they can come back and be normal humans again. They obviously are intelligent because they set a trap for him, but it's never addressed in the film. He doesn't talk about it at all.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and it makes no. He's not like, it would appear that these instinctive creatures that obviously have no intelligence left laid a trap for me, which I fell for, and it nearly killed me. So clearly they know what they're doing. No, instead it was like, oh, I've got to kill my dog, and now I'm going to go out and kill a load of them. I know you're going to be upset that your dog died. But surely, as a scientist who's been working on a cure for all these years, a little part of you would go, they need a trap. This is obviously not as simple as I thought it was. But it's never addressed at all. And then when they're sort of throwing themselves at the wall and you've got that big alpha guy,
yeah,
and he's like charging at him.
Through.
The fact that there's a connection between him and the guys that he's been kidnapping, like that guy is obviously the leader of that group. He's the leader of the people in that city. And what's happening is Will Smith is taking these people out of their new society and killing them and experimenting on them and like torturing them. And this guy's like, we're going to go and fucking get him. Except in the film, it's just some guy who is clearly showing signs of intelligence running at the glass over and over again because you know he can break it. But Will Smith, only at the very end, is like, no, I can save you. And even then, he's not doing it because he thinks it's true. He's doing it because he thinks he's just like desperate. It's like, oh, I'm just going to try and talk. In the book, the whole thing is like completely different. For a start, Will Smith's character is doing all of that stuff, except he's also an alcoholic because like the whole world's gone to shit. He's trying to find a cure, but the problem is that he is seeing them as monsters, but he's the monster because they can communicate with each other. All their roaring and squawking and stuff is a language that he doesn't understand. And he gets captured by them and he's like, what's going on? One of them can speak his language, and so they're like, well, you repeatedly kidnapped our friends. We're trying to build a society here and recover from this horrendous thing that's wrecked the whole world and wrecked us and taken away everything we've loved. We're trying to rebuild it, and you keep taking our friends and torturing the shit out of them. We don't approve of that. You keep killing us. And then he's like, oh God, I fucked up. I am the horror. I am the thing that I thought they were. But fucking I Am Legend, it totally misses the point. It's like the whole point of the book is that he misunderstands and hurts people due to misunderstanding what's happened. In I Am Legend, it's brave scientist bravely tries to cure people, but they kill him anyway. It's like, no. That's
it's just American trash, isn't it? It's the American
so
dream.
Anyway, so terrible.
So games I have played this week. I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with this. My Guitar Hero, because I can now play the guitar.
You know what? I had sound for that. I put it on the TV downstairs, and me and Kat watched you play. And I said that's why I suggested Hangar 18 by Megadeth.
Because you knew it would destroy me.
Well, because Kat was like, "Isn't Hangar 18 really difficult?" As you were scrolling past it, I said, "Yeah, I've never done that on the Drunksmith stream because I know I'd fuck it up completely. It's really hard." And she went, "Get him to do it." So I put it in the chat and I was like, "Go on!" And then
you probably did all right on it though.
You actually did. To be honest, you did. It's a really, really hard song. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, right. So Guitar Hero Live. Yes, that's his name. I had to just check that.
That's check it.
It's Guitar Hero, all right. So it's basically just the same rhythm game with a controller. This controller is more complicated than the older ones because if you look on the top of it, it's got 6 buttons up there. Right, you got your black ones, then you got your white ones underneath. So sometimes you have to press the black ones, sometimes you have to press the white ones.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you have to press both together, or sometimes you have to press a black one and the white one, which is really quite hard to do, especially when you're doing it really quick. I could never get the grasp of that. You've also got the whammy bar thing, so you can whammy that when you're holding the notes down to get like more points to make the thing go wow. You've got the drum thing. You've got your stupid hero power, which again is just, I think that was part of the older ones. You've got these buttons on the side, which are just for opening up different menus in the game, and that's basically the controller. But this makes it a lot more complicated because there's 6 buttons there, which you can press it in, and it almost. This is going to sound really gay to you, and I'm like a 12-year-old child because of the word gay, but it's made me feel more like I was playing a guitar doing this.
Yeah, no, I
pressing the stupid buttons that were on the old one because they were like big buttons, weren't they?
When I was watching you and I was watching the like the white and the black notes, the way you were having to move your hand around, I actually said to Kat, I was like, that
kind of going like this. Yeah.
That looks more like playing a guitar than the old one did, because the old one was just 1 button per fret, but you had 5 frets, whereas that's a lot like in as close as it can be with just 2 buttons. It's a lot closer to doing things like chords and actually, because when you're playing the guitar, you don't just put like one, you don't just go up and down the frets, you go up and down the strings as well. And the old controller never even made an attempt to sort of relay that.
Whereas this does give you the feeling of moving around like this when you're doing it. Like,
yeah.
And I noticed I was doing that. Obviously, I'm not going down here, but because I think that'd be ridiculous if they were all buttons. Imagine that.
That'd be amazing.
It was. Yeah. I don't know. It was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good the way it was put together, apart from one thing. So you've got 2 different ways you can play the game. So you've got the whole live thing, which is you can take part in concerts, which these are songs you can do like 3 songs like on the stage as part of like a make-believe like fake band, but playing actual music, but it's all random music. It isn't really things you'd associate with a guitar. For example, it'd be like Eminem songs and Rihanna songs.
Yeah, I noticed it's just pop music. Was really weird in that respect.
So and Bangarang, the Skrillex thing, which is like doesn't even have guitar in it.
No, it's like
it's electronic.
It's not even.
So it's anyway. So you know, you go on the stage. It's pretty good how it does it, because if you start missing notes, the crowd will start booing at you, and like the other people on the stage will be like, "What are you doing? You know, sort yourself out," and you have to kind of pull it back. But that's like the stupid introductory mode. The mode everyone's going to play is GHTV, which is the Guitar Hero TV. So this is like MTV, and you go into this section, and it's got the massive song list, and it is pretty comprehensive, to be honest. It's a pretty big list, and it says that they do add new songs every like week or something like that.
Yeah.
You can play a channel, which I think is free, but if you want to play specific songs, you have to pay one of these crystals. Now, how do you get the crystals? Well, it gives you a nice tutorial, doesn't it, at the start? And it's like, oh, we've given you some free coins, buy yourself some track plays, which are the crystals. So I'm like, oh, I can't believe this. I have to pay 1 track play, which is 1 crystal, to play 1 song. Even if you fuck the song up, you still pay it. Like the moment you click on the song, you just get it. It's like, there you go, you've used your thing. And I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be rancid. I'm not paying for this. And it was like $3.99 for a pack of these things. I'm like, wow, this is getting ridiculous. But to be fair to it, because I mean, it was the first time I played it, so I wasn't that good. But I think I was probably better than the average pleb who plays it, because I was playing it on expert mode. I played a bit on regular, then I went to expert. Some of it was quite difficult on expert mode, but I was still getting like, you know, at least 60-70% of the songs completed. And I noticed I was getting enough points back to just endlessly buy song plays. Yeah. So I think if you're okay at the game, you're going to be fine, because you just will never run out of the money. Like, even if you wanted to keep playing your favorite songs over and over again, because it gives you like 15 or 16 to begin with. And I could literally just play Eye of the Tiger over and over again and just get loads of points for it.
I noticed that it gave you 6,000 coins for like the introduction thing, which gave you 10 plays. But then you played like 2 or 3 songs, and it said, "Oh, nice," and then gave you like another. I don't think it was 10. I think it might have been 8 plays, because you went from having 8 plays to 16 straight away. And the number didn't really go down. It just rewarded you as you kept getting better. And at first, I was like the same as you.
Well, hang on. Talking of the 3,000, the 6,000 coins, I think I've got like 4,000 coins already now. So I'm getting to the point where I can just buy another 10 plays again. So it's like, but, as you were saying,
I think I think you can. It's one of those games where I think you can, if you're patient and you want to get better, and you just, you know, you're prepared to grind out the coins.
No, I totally enjoyed it. You can see this might be put on the YouTube channel, because the YouTube channel will get taken down, but it's on Twitch, twitch.tv/unit-loss/videos, and you can see the VOD. And surprisingly, a lot of the VOD isn't muted on Twitch. It's just a Guitar Hero rhythm game, and I did feel myself when I was getting it right, because some of it was dead complicated, and it was almost like I wasn't thinking where I was putting my hands, because my hands knew where the buttons were, and I was just like going through it, and I was getting like some really nice fucking combos, like getting 100 plus bloody, you know, correct notes and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you do feel pretty good at it, but it was quite a taxing game to play. I mean, obviously, I've seen people who are doing it on like the fucking crazed mode, and it's super fast, but it is a repetition thing. If you kept doing the same song over and over again, eventually well, you know what it's like. You play the guitar, you know how music is. It's just repetition. Once you get used to it, you'll be much better at the game. But then that's when we got problems. So I got a couple of problems with the game. So even though it is quite a comprehensive track list, if it doesn't keep coming out with new songs, it will get pretty boring pretty quick because this kills all the other Guitar Heroes. Also, me saying I was fairly decent, and I was earning enough coins to carry on with the live TV. If you're not fairly decent, you're going to run out of coins, and then what? You're going to pay money? That seems a bit shit.
Well, I guess then what it'll do is it would be like you need to go back to playing the set lists, and then you'll get rewards for completing the set list, which will then allow you to do the plays.
But then you're back to forcing a player to do something they don't want to do. Because what does everyone want to do? What's the first thing people say with Guitar Hero? Right, show me the song list. Let's play a song I want. They don't want to sit there and play fucking Rihanna or some shit. Or I mean, it's got like One Direction on it, which was an insanely difficult song for some reason. I played it for the crack. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And it was dead hard. I was like, shit, I actually had to quit that. It was just fucking ridiculous. But maybe that was just a bit of a joke by the devs. Let's make it so stupidly hard because it's One Direction. It's okay though. It's all right. It's just Guitar Hero. It comes in a massive box. It's probably 50 or it's probably 60, 70 quid for the fucking thing because it comes with a stupid controller. The controller is too small, I think. Needs to be bigger. It seems weirdly small.
I think that was hurting my elbow. That problem. The Guitar Hero controllers, because it sounds daft, but almost the problem is that they're too much like a guitar and also not quite enough like a guitar. It's the wrong size. It's not like ukulele sized, whereby you've got something that's like that long, which is still natural to hold because of where your arms are. But it's also not full guitar length. So instead of having your arm at a good extension, instead it's kind of like you're kind of hunched almost when you play.
Yeah, can you? That's how I'm playing it, like that.
Yeah,
I'm hunched in, and what was happening is my elbow was getting really sore. My wrist wasn't hurting or anything, and I'm playing it like this. I've got to keep the buttons close to you, and it's like it feels really shit.
The best way is compare that to if you've got an actual guitar when you're standing. Like that, your arm's all the way over here.
Yeah.
Your hand isn't like that. You're not like, you all the way over. So.
You're not like, oh god, I'm playing a guitar. So yeah, it's okay. I think if you're a fan of Guitar Hero, you'll like it. But wait until it's on sale. Maybe I don't know. Although it does have a lot of songs, it still needs like kind of more songs. Like the metal section was not very populated.
Yeah,
there's some decent tracks in there. Like it's got Queen. In the rock section, and
you
it's
never
got
sang
like
along to "We Are the Champions" though, which disgusts me.
No, the reason
you've always got to sing along to that, even when it fucks your performance.
I can't.
Oh yeah, you've got the delay, haven't you?
Yeah, from the Elgato.
I totally forgot about that. Is that what's causing it then? Is it definitely the Elgato that causes it?
No. This is different delay. This is what I forgot to do was sync up my microphone and my webcam with the half a second delay from the Elgato. So if I was singing, I'd be singing before the words actually came up on the stream, so it'd be really shit. So that's why I didn't sing. And
one of the things
it's okay.
Yeah, one of the things I always do when I'm playing Rocksmith is sing along to that song, but it always fucks me over. The song is not hard. That song is not hard. It is a really easy song to play.
But you committed no crime.
Yeah, but I sit there and instead of actually playing what it says on the screen, I'm singing along to the lyrics and I'm like dancing around in my seat like an idiot. And then I miss all the notes, and at the end of the thing, it's like 67% accuracy, and I'm like, oh, fuck off, it's really easy. Why?
Well, when you understand the song, though, you know the song, you play better. Like when I was doing like Eye of the Tiger, it was horrible. That was, but I was keeping up with it because I knew what was coming. Like,
yeah,
crazy.
Well,
what else have you done this week?
Well,
like a fucking guitar museum.
I've only got 5. Well, one of them don't work, so it doesn't count.
How can it not work? Hang on.
It's the other bass. I've got 2 bass guitars, right? I've got this one, which is my new one, which is a thing of delight and beauty, and that is the walnut and mahogany neck I referenced on Hotfix because it's layered like that. It's like made of
class.
It's made of 2 different woods, but it's like layered. Well, the other bass I've got is knackered. It was a beginner's bass that I got when I was 14. Was it 14 or 15? No, 14. And
do you have a breast slider?
No, it did not. It was, I think it was about 150 quid. And they're supposed to last you about...
Cheap.
That's cheap. That's really cheap. Especially back then, because, like, over a decade ago, and you're talking, like, low-cost guitars were shit quality. Like, absolute shit. you can get a really good guitar for like 200 quid now. Whereas when I was playing bass, you could get a totally shit guitar for 250 quid, and my bass was 150. It was meant to last maybe 2 years, and then I couldn't afford to get another one. And then when I was 18, I got a guitar, so I started playing guitar instead of bass, so I never played it. And then I came back to it, and I played it on and off a little bit, like every now and again. It's just knackered. It's totally broken. Like on the front of the bass, there's 2 pickups. I'm gonna have to angle it that way so I don't bash it on the ceiling. On my old bass, that pickup doesn't work. That's just broken. It produces no sound.
What's a pickup?
It's what gets the sound from the strings into the.
It translates the vibration.
Yeah.
Is the thing, yeah.
So that pickup doesn't work. That pickup on the old bass, only half of it works, and it's the top half. So it doesn't pick up the vibrations properly from the low strings. So it's like dead weak. And of the 3 knobs, I mean, this one's got 4, but on the other bass, of the 3 knobs, one of them doesn't work, the other one isn't earthed properly, and the volume one falls off. And the way you put the jack in, the cable, it falls out because all the thread's gone on the screw. So like it screws in, but it's only got thread on the very end, so it's permanently loose. And if you knock it at just the wrong time, the whole thing just falls out of the guitar. And I was like, I want to start playing bass again. I picked it up, tried to play it in Rocksmith, and Rocksmith went, you need to plug in a guitar. And I was going, it is plugged in. It's like, you need to plug in a guitar. It's like, it's fucking... Oh dear me. Let's have a look at this then. Did a bit of research, took it apart. No, totally knackered. Oh, and the wiring's gone as well. So
is this one work then?
So this is my new one.
The hell?
I played on Rocksmith last Friday. Yeah, it was last Friday because I'm trying to do Drunksmith on a Friday now. And I hadn't played bass properly for about 8 years, but I really wanted to start playing again because that's where I started out, and it was good fun. But I just got caught up in the whole I'm going to be a rock guitarist kind of thing. Whereas with the bass, I was doing jazz bass, so it's totally different. And I got to grade 8 jazz bass actually, which I found the certificate for the other day, which I didn't. I forgot. You've got like of the scrub tiers, grade 8 is the best scrub tier because there's like professional musicians have like looked down on grade 8 as being it's not really anything because they're going to university and doing diplomas and degrees and shit. But grade 8 is like the highest of the amateur things you can do. Really, it's like the gateway into becoming a professional musician. Places won't consider you unless you've got like grade 8 and whatever instrument you want to do. So I got to grade 8 on bass for jazz bass, which is pretty good. But I hadn't played it for ages. And this ain't a jazz bass. This is a rock bass. It's different. Like the neck's different. It's slimmer and it's kind of not as thick. So it's quicker to move your hand up and down. The gap between the strings and the bridge is slightly different. The pickups are different, so it makes a different sound. The body's different, so it feels different. And I was like, I'm just going to play it. I'd forgotten how much fun it was. I'd also forgotten how fucking difficult bass is when you haven't played it for a while. So I'm used to playing guitar, which is nowhere near as big as this. The neck isn't as long. And of course, you've got 6 strings, not 4, and they're really thin in comparison. So when you're playing the guitar, you just put a little bit of pressure on the string, and that's enough to press against the fret and it makes a sound. If you just put a little bit of pressure on a bass guitar string, it doesn't do shit because the string is massively
it's a heavier string.
Thick. I mean, you can just kind of hear it. It's way thicker and it's way heavier. And also, you don't use a pick on the bass most of the time. Like most of the songs I was playing was not using a pick; it was using this hand to pluck the strings with your fingers. If you haven't done that in years, your fingers are soft, ain't they? You haven't like got thick skin or anything. So within about 4 songs, I had blisters on all 3 fingers that I was using to pick the bass on. So this hand was like on the verge of bleeding just because like I was plucking the strings I wasn't used to doing. This hand was wrecked because it's just a bigger instrument. So you're reaching further. The way you put your hand on the strings is totally different. Like the shape of your hand is different when you're putting it on the strings, and you're putting more pressure down, and the frets are further apart. The thing that totally killed me was playing Fear of the Dark by Iron Maiden.
Yeah. Because
the bassist in Iron Maiden is a nutcase and likes doing power chords, which on a guitar is really easy because it's just 3 strings, they're really close together. It's that shape. Except on a guitar, it's more like that shape and in that kind of area. On a bass, it's like that. But he does it all the way through the song. So my hand is really stretched out. My fingers are really stretched out. They're rammed down on the strings as hard as they can be, because otherwise you don't get any sound, or it makes like a dull sort of muted thumping noise. And it was like that for the whole song. And all the way through, whilst I was playing, I was impressed myself, because I think...
So hang on, Rocksmith differentiates between different types of guitars.
Yeah.
So it'll change the song so you can play it differently.
You have to select which path you go down. So there's lead guitar, rhythm guitar, and bass guitar. So I started a new profile so that everything was at 0% and set it to bass and just played any song that I wanted to play. But it was, it gives you the bass part and teaches you how to play the bass as well. And
it's like a wonder program, ain't it, Rocksmith? Really,
it's really good. It is honestly really good. But I was like, on the one hand, I was really impressed with myself, because I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to be shit. I thought it was going to be terrible because I haven't played it properly for years and years and years. And I might have been grade 8 in jazz, in like a jazz bass ensemble thing, but that's not the same as playing stuff on Rocksmith. It's a totally different style of playing. And I was sat there, my fucking wrist was knackered. It was just broken. My hand was cramping up after like an hour. I had blisters on these 3 fingers, and like the next day, I made the mistake of picking. I was like, oh, I was just scratching my eye. That was all I was doing. I just had an itchy eye. I was just scratching. I took my hand away, and there was blood down my face, and my finger had just it was just everywhere. It was bad. And I was playing through Rocksmith, so I was like, okay, this isn't going too bad.
Hey, talking about fingers, my thumb, right? This is my thingy thumb for
your hammer thumb.
No, it is the hammer thumb, but it's the scalpel thumb as well, because I will like, and also this thumb as well. But basically, they both are. When I remove flashing off models, so when you take like a model off the sprue, you get little bits of plastic left, right, ladies and gentlemen. The way I remove them is I hold the model and I use the knife and I bring the knife back to my thumb, so it keeps hitting my thumb. Well, they've now developed hard skin; they're just immune to the knife, and it will just go in, and affect me. And it's like, so when I'm on the stream, like I noticed this on Sunday, I was doing it on the stream, and people were like, the stream before last week, and they're like, what? Like I'm visibly sticking this knife into my fucking thumb like I'm some sort of crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, don't do this if you're a normal fellow, because you need fingers that have been butchered for a while to develop the hard skin to withstand the blows of the blade. It was pretty fucking funny, but yeah. It always sounds amazing to me. Rocksmith does though with it's almost like this unsung hero. Like you don't really see that much about it.
Honestly, I think it is. It's like
it can honestly teach you to play the guitar, and if it can change songs like that, which to me it seems quite ridiculous. I still don't understand how it fucking knows what you're playing on the guitar anyway. It seems ridiculous to me.
I hadn't played it for ages, and I was really impressed with how it did without wanting to sound big-headed, because it's totally different to what I'm used to, and I hadn't played the instrument for ages. And I think there was only one song where I didn't get over 90% accuracy, which I was taking every song and ramming it up to full difficulty as well, because why not? Because otherwise you end up, on a brand new profile, you end up with like 1 note in 8, and that's going to be crap to watch. So I didn't want to just have people sitting there watching me play 1 note every now and again, so I rammed it all up. But it just brought it back to me. I think I've almost got used to how good Rocksmith is on my guitar. Like, I play it so much, and I've done so many streams of it, that it's just become a thing of, yeah, let's play Rocksmith. And I've almost lost the appreciation for just how good it is as a teaching tool, because I tend to play the same things as well. People request the same songs over and over, which is fine. I don't mind playing them. I enjoy it. But going into it fresh with an instrument I was no longer really that familiar with, playing songs that I knew the guitar part to, but didn't know the bass part at all, it just sort of brought it back to me. I was like, I'd forgotten how fucking good this is. It is a really, really good program. And it also brought a lot of appreciation back for like the custom DLC as well, which Ubisoft don't really like.
There used to be a lot of it though, doesn't there?
Yeah, but like I decided, because I'm an idiot, I was like, I know, I'll play the bass part for Fuel by Metallica, and I ran it up to full difficulty. And that wasn't using a pick, that was using your fingers. And I was playing it. I got all the way through, and I was like, at the end of it, I said, I was like, fucking hell, the guy who made that, absolutely right. It was perfect. It was dead on. You could hear the bass, because it also, I think, I need to double check this, but it sounded to me like when you were playing the bass part, it sounds to me like the bass is upped in the mix, so you can hear it a bit clearer. Because in a lot of songs, the bass is there, but it's not. It's not
in the background.
Yeah.
It's
like it's the bass layer that the rest of the song's built on. But it felt like it wasn't my guitar that I could hear. I could hear the bass part and my bass at the same time. And it felt like it was bringing it forward in the mix a bit. And it just kind of brought it back to me. I was like, when I finished and I kind of, I turned it all off and I just sat there for a minute. I was like, they did a fucking good job with that. Like, every now and again, something happens and I'll be playing it.
Is this just like custom modders who are just making this shit?
Yeah, just taking songs that aren't available as DLC and making it into DLC that you can download and stick in the DLC folder for Rocksmith. And the dedication to do that as well, because some of it is a bit cheap. Like, this is the only problem with custom DLC. There's no real way of telling the quality before you try it. Like, there's no preview or anything because it's it's a file made specifically for Rocksmith. So you'll get some. Like, I downloaded Rock You Like a Hurricane because I thought that'd be a funny one to play.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago on my guitar, it was totally shit. Like, the custom DLC for that was totally shit. I selected the lead guitar part because that's the one I always play, because it's more interesting to watch someone fumble their way through a solo and get it wrong than just play the rhythm part. And so I was like, I'll do that. This custom DLC, it missed out quite a few things. So the way the tracks work is it builds up the difficulty as you go. Except with some custom DLC, it starts at max difficulty and there's no way of changing it. So if you go to what's called the riff repeater, where you can select which part of the song you want to play over and over to try and get better at that one phrase.
Yeah, just practice a little bit, yeah.
Rocksmith will say it's on 0 difficulty, except it's actually at 100 difficulty and there's no way of changing it. There's also some songs where the riff repeater doesn't work because the entire song is treated as one phrase. So there's one that I really like called, it's Aeromancy by Dorje, and I really like that song and I wanted to learn that song. I can't learn that song because although the custom DLC is okay, because it builds up the difficulty, the riff repeater doesn't work because the guy has set it so there's one massive phrase. The whole song is one phrase.
Section the track up, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't learn the hook between the verse and the chorus. I can't learn just the chorus. I can't learn just the main riff. I've got to play the entire song all the way through every time. And actually, the way I play Rocksmith on stream and the way I play it by myself is totally different. When I'm playing Rocksmith on the stream, I get a song, I ram it up to full difficulty, I play it, and either I play it really well and people are like, holy shit, you did that really well, or I play it really badly, laugh it off because I've not really played it before, or because I know I can't do it and I'm doing it for entertainment value and because it's fun, and then move on to the next song. To actually get to the point where I know the songs, like there's some songs where I'll load up Rocksmith and it'll be like, the last Rocksmith stream, like for instance, The Darkness, I downloaded their DLC, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, because I love the guitar part for that. The song's stupid, but I really like the guitar part. And I downloaded it, and I didn't play it on Rocksmith when I first downloaded it, because no one asked for it, and I was like, I won't.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really noticed it was there anyway. And I had like 5% in it, because I just loaded it up to make sure it was okay, because it was an original Rocksmith song, not Rocksmith 2014, and sometimes they can be a little bit off. I was like, okay, no, this is good, this is fine. By the next Rocksmith stream, I had that song up to 95.5% mastery, so I'm consistently playing it at 95% accuracy all the way through. But I didn't do that just by playing the whole thing through, and then playing the whole thing through again. Instead, I got the first part on the riff repeater, and I went up in difficulty from 70 to 100. Then I got the chorus, and I did the same thing. Then I did the first solo, then the second solo, then the third solo, and I did that
it makes
all the
sense.
way through.
No, it makes sense because when I was playing Guitar Hero on what's it bloody called? Eye the Tiger. There's long sections of rapid strumming, and that just destroys you. So if you were to go through the whole song, just to learn, like, because there's sections where it goes really quite complicated and it flips backwards and forward and all this shit. And I was pretty good at them anyway, just straight out the bat. But if I could just endlessly repeat that over and over again, I'd get that done without killing myself doing the strumming. So I get that. It's crazy anyway.
It's one of the things that makes Rocksmith such a great teaching tool, because you can pick a song that you like and you could start out and be totally shit with it. But then you could go, okay, well, I'm pretty sure I could do this part. Then you go back to the riff repeater, you set it so that every time you hit the number of notes, you can set it to do it automatically as well. This is the other amazing thing. You can set it so that it's at like difficulty 1 out of 100, and you'll play like 2 notes, and then it'll go, nice one, you've hit both of those notes. Then it'll up it to like maybe 3 or 4 notes, and then you'll play that one bit again, and it'll go, nice, you've hit those 3 or 4 notes. Then it'll up it again, and it'll do it automatically. It will only let you level up if you consistently hit what it's telling you to hit. So you'll reach your natural barrier. Like, you'll reach the point at which your ability is kind of outmatched by the song. But then you just slow it down. You can just slow the phrase down to like 10% if you want to. It sounds a bit crappy because no song has been designed to be played at 10% speed. But
you're still learning the
learning
placement.
the steps, and then it speeds up, and it's just.
How does anyone learn anything? You don't just get given the entire fucking thing and go, there you go. You have to learn it in repetition. Segments.
But it was just playing the bass on that again, and like playing the bass for the first time in ages, and playing it in Rocksmith. It just brought it home once again. Where I'm like, I kind of treat this as just when I'm playing it in front of people, I just treat it as like a daft game that happens to require playing a guitar, and it's a joke and it's funny and it's daft, and I'll sing along to We Are the Champions, and I'll sing along to songs, and I'll, instead of focus on playing them, I'll like dance about in the seat and tell people to get the lighters out and shit. But then when you actually sit down and play it with a different instrument, choosing a different path, or when you're using it as a learning tool, it kind of brings it back again, where it's like this like it should be more appreciated than it is.
Everybody who owns a guitar should have this, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say even people who are like even people who are in bands and stuff could get something out of it, even if it's only entertainment. Yeah, they could get something out of it. And yeah, I mean, I've managed to get my next door neighbour to try it. I think he's 14 at the moment, and he's been playing guitar for a couple of years. And he saved up all of his pocket money and stuff for like a year to afford a second-hand 200 quid Epiphone guitar. And I was like, you need to get Rocksmith. And I managed to, get him onto it. And he's like, his parents have said that it's done wonders for him, because before he would just practice songs that he and his mates had written. And he'd be really good at those, but he wouldn't learn anything else. Like, he wouldn't learn anything new. Whereas now he'll be like, oh, I found this song on Xbox Live. Can I download it? And they'll say, yeah, okay. He'll download it. They'll see him in a couple of days, and he's learnt an entirely new song. And not just that, the stuff he's learned in that song will translate into better playing in the songs that he and his friends are writing for the band they're in. And it's just, it's got to be one of the best sort of learning tools / games I've come across for anything, really, just because of how detailed and in-depth, and I guess just how clever it is with how it treats people, and how it kind of...
It almost makes me feel like it's something that I could get a guitar, and it would cheat. Because I remember, like I've said this before, but I remember when I had a guitar for Christmas, and bought me one year. I wasn't very happy because I didn't want a fucking guitar, I want football boots. But anyway, I got a guitar, and it came with like a VHS video. And I put that in my video player, and it was like a guy just showing you the chords, and that was it. And I remember watching it, and you couldn't tell if I was making the right noise or anything, and it was just boring and shit. Whereas now, if you can sit there and do something interactive, because I've always learned better with interactive stuff. I never like sitting there and reading off paragraphs of shit. No, you have to show me how to do it, and then I'll be able to do it.
Well, that's how I taught myself guitar to begin with.
Yeah, it's how most people teach themselves a lot of shit. I'm pretty sure it is.
I just found songs I liked and went and learned them. I just repeated the same bit. I'd play the same. Remember in old Windows Media Player, you could turn down the speed at which it played stuff. So I would sit there with my headphones on, and I'd have my shitty little amp and my 89 quid special guitar when I've got the first one I ever had. And I'd sit there and I'd be like, I want to learn how to play Enter Sandman. And I would play the song as slowly as I could without it sounding like god awful crap. And then I'd learn which notes it was, and then I'd go back and I'd make it a bit quicker and a bit quicker. And now I've got something that just does it for me. I don't even have to do anything like that now. Yeah. It's just like, I learned this program and learned this song that I only heard yesterday, but it's got custom DLC, or it's got DLC for Rocksmith. And now a song I really liked that I heard 24 hours ago, I can play 90% of it. It's amazing. It really is. It's genuinely amazing.
Well, I guess we played Overwatch, but I don't want to talk about. What I want to talk about is Overwatch Endgame, because I think we've seen a bit of a right. So basically, we've been in an exclusive beta.
Wait! Before we go any further with Overwatch, we did play one other thing, and people keep commenting about how they can only watch Overwatch and don't like hearing about it anymore. StarCraft II Archon mode. That video will have been out yesterday. In fact, thinking about it,
this is good. But it's also bad, because if you're playing with somebody who's not fucking microing the army correctly, you suddenly just take over and issue commands, and it's a complete clusterfuck.
If you're playing with some Wood League guy, when you used to be like Gold or whatever, Gold League.
Fuck you! I was Diamond. You
Diamond
bastard.
League.
How dare you?
I mean, that does go some way.
Wood League, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Masters, Grandmasters. So fuck you.
That does properly highlight the skill level difference between us.
I was rusty and shit
in that game. But
I'm looking at the minimap. Right, I'm looking at the minimap, and I'm like, I was operating the base because I didn't trust it. And I just see like a cluster of guys standing there doing nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? Move the guys. You got to scout. What the fuck are you doing?
Honestly,
and he's like,
that was one of my...
I got no fucking guys. I'm like, fucking go.
That was one of my big problems with playing StarCraft to begin with.
And then I told you to drop. I was like, drop. And you wasn't moving the guys. So I just got the fucking medevacs and sent them across the map.
That time, though, you said to drop. I'd already sent the guys moving. I swear you glanced
didn't drop them. No. What you did was you told them you move them. You have to press D on the medevac and keep the medevac moving so it drops them down in a line. You don't just move and then drop one by one. They get killed. So I was trying to issue that, but you'd done that, and they were just fuck, killed me. Holy shit!
I think you need like 2 people who are of equivalent skill levels to really pull it off, because otherwise it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work.
It is funny though. It is just like a really funny, stupid game mode though.
It's
and the fact it's got its own ranked thing as well. No. I think we were silver.
We weren't wood. That's the important thing. We weren't wood league. We were silver league.
Crazy.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been better as well. But frankly, expecting anything more than silver, I think, was probably a bit too hopeful, if I'm honest. You can never underestimate how terrible a wood league player is.
Also, the single player campaign, I've been playing a bit more of that. I still haven't completed it. I was playing it on brutal, but then I dropped it down to hard because brutal was fucking really hard, and it was getting to the point where I'm having to do like crazy shit to progress the missions. To be fair, hard is still pretty fucking hard, and I'm still relying on my Spear of a Doom powers to complete missions because some of them are really OP. Like the orbital bombardment where you can select like 5 places, whatever you can hit. Well, you can upgrade that to an orbital lance attack, so it fires 3 lances which strafe the target. So and that is dead powerful. Things like Phoenix, who's a guy you can deploy him to the battlefield, and it only lasts for 30 seconds, but he's dead solid. And you drop him down, and he just he's like a super dragoon, and he like wrecks everything, and then he teleports back to the ship. And on one mission, I won't spoil what the mission was or what was going on, but I was in a point where I'd been involved in combat and I was severely ruined, and I was only managing to advance the mission by clever use of my Spear of a Doom powers. I literally had just enough left to defend the base, and every time I was attacked it was dead ropey, but I had those the shield batteries, so they were regenerating my shields on my units, and I was taking like maybe losing 1 or 2 units every time I got attacked. You have to like protect this structure and also complete objectives out on the map, and I managed to just do it with my Spear of a Doom powers. And it's like, it's pretty good. I quite like it when you can do that. I think I could probably do it on brutal, but brutal is if you get one thing wrong 15 minutes into the game, you lose 20 minutes into the game. So you've got to go back and fix what you got wrong 15 minutes into the game. And I was doing that a bit too much, and I'm like, okay, I am enjoying it, but I don't want to be on the same mission for 20 tries later, because that's killing me.
I have to admit, I'm just doing it on normal, because I'm not very good at the game anyway, but one thing I really enjoyed the story in Wings of Liberty, and I was like, well, if I'm going to be playing
very
it just
much
to find
like
out
Wings
what
of
happens,
Liberty,
then I'll just keep playing it on normal. To be honest, normal is actually, at this point, I know full well that normal is too easy for me. I could up it. But I'm just enjoying the game. Like I don't feel like I particularly want to challenge myself with it. I'm just enjoying playing it. And also it does allow you to do ridiculous things like I can't remember what the mission's called, but you have to defend a temple.
Yeah.
And there's like waves of
billions of Zerg.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's on Shukuros, isn't it? And it's there's like 1 billion Zerg on the planet, and there's like a number going up, and you have to try and get as many on the planet as possible. And I realised that because I had the that defense thing on the Nexus, the overcharge.
Yeah.
I was like, the Nexus has got tons of health, tons of shields. I'll just build Nexus at the entrance to the temple, like, on all 4 sides. So I ended up with defenses that were just Nexus surrounded by those massive
the big like, defense cannon thing. Yeah.
And a bunch of smaller cannons around the side. I held that for, I think I must have got to about 2.4 billion Zerg before they overran the base. And I was like, it was easy to do, but it kind of went from being easy to just being kind of funny for me, because I was like, oh shit, there's a big wave. Can I actually beat this one? I don't think I can. And it took a while to get there, but the feeling of all the stuff collapsing, it was like all at once, every single front died at the same time. And I was like trying to build stuff, I was getting units, I was like, I want to see if I can get to the next number. Shit, I've got to bail. And then I pressed it. It wasn't difficult, but it was really enjoyable. And I really like stuff like that in those games, because they always manage to make it feel like a big build-up when something like that happens.
It's got some quite good characters as well, from what I've seen so far, anyway. And I like the way the Spear of Adun is done as well, the way you sort of go around the ship. I mean, I know that's similar to Wings of Liberty, where you go around the Hyperion, but this is way better because it's more modern, I guess. It's enjoyable. I really like that game. It's enjoyable. I'm looking forward to playing it. I think I might like for the crack stream the multiplayer one day, but just one day only, because I'll get wrecked because the game's totally different now. You've got too many SCVs for me, and I don't understand build orders or anything because I'm old school, and I'm what? And then I just get killed, and then it's like, okay. Anyway, let's talk about Overwatch. So what I want to talk about Overwatch is not, I don't want to talk about kind of what we've already talked about on the channel, but this window we've seen into the end game of Overwatch, because we've been in a very exclusive group of people who've been playing the game.
That's the end game.
You get people who are really good, right? So we're not shit. I've played it loads. You know, we're fucking top tier, baby. But the only people that are playing the game are top tier because they're no life top tier legends like us. So this doesn't happen now because there was a new wave of people added, and I think all the internal MMR, so the ranking settings were all were all like set to 0 and everything. So like we played yesterday and we just wrecked the other team. It was like, well, fucking hell, the Kings are back, boys. But for the last couple of days, it's been really fucking close games, which is good. Apart from one thing, and as Mr. Kirioth alluded to, it is Mr. Genji, because you start to see when people get really good at the game, you start to see how certain characters are like overpowered, because the way Overwatch is made, okay, it might be you're on the same maps, but the team composition impacts a lot on the gameplay. Characters who initially you think, okay, not too good, like me with D.Va, she's just okay, but actually D.Va's quite good once you get to understand how to play her. Well, Genji is like an extreme example of this, because he's the ninja guy, right? I guess you guys have seen this character announced at BlizzCon and whatnot, and I made a video on him. And even in my video, I'm like, wow, he's pretty good. But this is before we actually played a lot with him and played against him a lot. And you start, McCree is the same as well. Like, he do your head in, because when you get to a certain level of skill, you can be really, like, massively effective with one character. McCree and Genji, I mean, McCree's been slightly nerfed because his range isn't as good as it was. Well, he can still shoot at range, but he does like half damage at max range. So it's not like he's just sniping you away. Genji, though, it has extremely fast movement. His escape mechanic, which is his dash forward, dashes through everybody, but also cuts them and applies a bleed effect to them. He's got a pinpoint accurate ranged weapon. His ultimate pulls his sword out and he just basically one-shots you with it.
But he's also got a close range burst weapon. Because when he does like a long range attack, he throws one projectile at a time.
Yeah, he can throw
when
three.
He's close, he can throw 3. And of course, if all 3 hit you, it does the damage for all 3.
Basically kills you. Yeah, and it's massively powerful.
Yeah. And his dash. This is one of the big important things. Unlike Tracer, who can't blink up or sort of diagonally up, or hers, like, it takes her along the ground or sort of on a horizontal trajectory. It can't just be used to fly all over the place. For some reason, Genji's is like omnidirectional. It can go anywhere. He can't
wherever
go to the floor,
facing, basically.
but whichever way you're looking, he just goes that way. So he can go from in front of you to above and behind you, like, instantly, and it'll cut through you as well if he's within range. And
his E reflects projectiles, which is quite ridiculous, because we were talking about this again. Like, his E reflects projectiles, so it's his defensive mechanic, but it's actually offensive, really. It's an offensive defensive mechanic, which all of his stuff is. His dash gets him out of trouble, but also cuts you and wrecks you. It's like, what? So he's too good for defending and he's too good for attacking. Like, I'm not talking when you're on defense mode on the map. I'm just talking if you rush this guy, he will defend himself by killing you, because that's how he defends himself. I'm not saying that he's fucking OP, and well, I'm not saying he is OP, I think, but I'm not saying it's like, oh god, he's just a better player than you, start your moaning sort of thing. It's just he's flat out better than a lot of characters, because the way Overwatch is done is you get to natural choke points. Well, he can just navigate the choke point and get straight behind your team, and then you can't deal with him. Tracer is meant to do this, but the problem with Tracer is, like Kiri said, she can't move vertically. She just blasts forward, but she can do it really quick, and again, she moves through people when she does it, but she doesn't hurt them or damage them. But then when Tracer starts to shoot you, it's piss poor tickle damage. And Tracer, I've said this before, she's the face of the game, and she's basically been replaced by Genji, who is better in every single way. And Genji beats a lot of people. I mean, we tried to... Like, who would beat Genji? Well, McCree would beat him, but not if Genji uses his E, because then he reflects McCree's flashbang, and that flashbangs McCree.
I actually saw on Reddit today, just completely randomly, McCree run up to Genji, and he used his He's just nicked an envelope, the cheeky git. Run up to Genji, and Genji uses his E to reflect the damage. But of course, it reflects the damage. It doesn't just stop it. So McCree unloads with all 6 barrels with his right click and kills himself. And it's like, but he didn't even use his E. He didn't even have to try and stun. He just unleashed into him and died. But all Genji had to do was press one button.
It shouldn't be a reflect. It should just be a deflect. When the bullets come in, it should just deflect them away, not send them back to where they came from, because it's too powerful. Because the speed you can activate it, if you see someone, you just press E straight away. You know they're going to shoot you because they're going to shoot you. And a lot of people have got projectiles, which have got at the time, they're not hit scan weapons. So when you, like, if you're Hanzo, you pull your bow, as soon as you come around the corner and you see a target, you'll fire at it. But Genji has enough time to press E to send the arrow straight back, which will kill you because it's an arrow from Hanzo. Same with Widowmaker as well.
It's the same. And the most sort of frustrating thing with that for me is it's the same ability that D.Va's got, but it's better. Because D.Va shoots down projectiles as they come towards her, but that's all she does. Genji has got the same ability as the brand new tank in the game, except his does the same in terms of preventing damage, but actually causes damage to the other team, whereas D.Va, while she's blocking projectiles, can't fire weapons. What sense does that even... I mean, what sense does that make? It's ridiculous.
Did you see the update video that came out from Jeff Kaplan, the game director? Said what they're working on at the moment is matchmaking, but also the 2 heroes they're working on, and I'm like, here we go, it's got to be Genji and McCree. But he said, well, McCree, we've nerfed him down, and we're kind of happy with where McCree is right now, because McCree can't snipe you, basically. Because before, he could snipe you, shoot you at mid-range, and then kill you in close combat. Now he can just mid-range you and close combat you, and sort of do decent damage to you at range, enough to, like, because before what was happening is if a Widowmaker had him banged to rights, and it was a long-range scope shot, he could shoot back at the Widowmaker and kill her, just as she could kill him, which is not right, because that's maximum range. Now, he can shoot you, and it'll do a bit of damage, enough to make you, like, sort of move out of the way, I guess, to push you away, but not flat-out kill you. But they said the 2 heroes that they're worried about are Torbjorn and Bastion. And the reason for this is, Bastion and Torbjorn are perceived as extremely powerful to new players, and then become completely redundant when players become good at the game. And it's totally true, isn't it?
It is,
I'm not going to name any names, but you see a lot of people playing Bastion who are really shit at the game, and they're getting like 5 or 6 kills, and they're getting play of the game, and they think they're really good. But you're like, yeah, you're just sitting in the corner as Bastion. A good player would just kill you. Like,
it's because you're sitting there and the other team are running directly into the line of fire and not trying to take cover, not trying to actually get behind you. They're just literally running in front of you. And funnily enough, then you die. Whereas if if I see a Bastion in the corner, my first instinct is not to just run at him. Like yesterday, when we were playing, there was a Bastion in like a little alcove.
And a Torbjorn. And I was sniping the Torbjorn with Widowmaker, just killing his turret every single time.
And I was Junkrat. So I didn't just fucking run at them like an idiot. Instead, I stayed back and I shelled them from long range, because that's what Junkrat does. Or I used his tire to get round the side and blow Torbjorn away. But you see like when we first started playing the game, it was funny to play Bastion because everyone just ran at you.
Yeah, you'd sit on the payload and people around the corner, just like, fucking how many kills we getting here, But it was interesting that they said that. So they said what's happening is Bastion and Torbjorn get a shitload of kills where new players are concerned, but then we don't see them included at all when higher level games are played, because they're too easily countered, which is true, because Bastion's just got a static turret and he is a static turret.
With a limited firing arc.
Torbjorn, at least his can shoot around, and it can be put in some interesting positions, but even so, it can be very quickly negated by a team that knows what it's doing. And to be fair, as we said, we got to the point where we were so high in the game, we're playing with other people, because it's only a limited population at the time, who are like other top tier players, and you can see tactics that are starting to form. You see people that will just not get used. You'd always see May would always be in the game. Genji's always in the game. Probably Reinhardt or Roadhog would always be in the game.
Almost
Winston
always in the game, which
would
is
be very
situational. Because I kind of thought Reinhardt would turn out to be, I guess,
but in every situation, Reinhardt.
But
he's not though, is he?
He actually is he just works for everything, really.
Yeah. Then you've got Farah. You'd see her a lot, although she did get a little bit of a nerf. Oh, they did say as well, Mercy. When she casts her ultimate, it used to be instant, but when she casts it now, she does the animation and then casts it, and then everybody comes back. they said they don't like that because it's making it not feel as good as it did before when you clicked it and then she instantly cast it and everybody started getting back up. Well, everybody had turned gold, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
and then come to life. But they also said it's too powerful. It's too powerful because a team can come in on the attack, kill the whole of the team, blow their ultimates, and with one click of a button, she reset the situation.
Well, we saw again. We saw that yesterday, where it was like we ran in, we murdered the entire team. Mercy got away.
I jumped in as Reaper and killed them all, and then they just came back.
She had like a slither of health, but then everyone was back, and we were all dead because we were like low on health because we just had a massive team fight, and they won because it was just like, okay, we've just wiped them all. Oh no, now we're dead, and there was no time in between, like no time, and. I don't know. It's weird with Mercy because I feel like the res mechanic is good and it can save the game, but I do think it is also too strong because if it brought back maybe one or two people, or I don't know how you do it because it's too hectic to like manually select who you want to bring back. But it needs to be not the whole team, but I don't want to see that mechanic disappear completely because I think she should have that ability, but it shouldn't be the case where you have a team fight, you win the team fight, but then the other team is just alive anyway.
Maybe you come back with 75% health instead of full or something like that. They'll do
something to negate it a bit because when
I just thought it was interesting.
Health, it's like, oh god,
yeah, it's like, oh fucking hell. Like you start shooting them.
I mean, Christ, you kill that guy with his 600 health, and then he goes gold, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake!
And the first thing he does is just start chugging anyway. It's like, wow. But it was interesting seeing the game played at like a high level like that because you see how things start developing and how characters are not used, and it must be interesting working at Blizzard and like looking at the feedback, looking at all of the information they've been gathering from the betas and thinking, okay, well, in these higher ranked games, we're not seeing these characters being played. There must be a reason for that, and that's why we're seeing this guy played all the time. What is going on? But I like. It's early doors for the game, and I think there's right now actually because this has come out on the weekend. There is the weekend beta weekend is going out this weekend where everybody can play the game like a massive stress test. Did say it will go down multiple times because they're going to be messing around with stuff. But so if you want to get a taste of Overwatch, you'll be able to jump in, and that'll be pretty good. It's definitely it's a fantastic game. I mean, it's just you can just jump in and have a game and leave that. It's pretty good, and it's quite dynamic as well. The way you change the heroes out and all of that. I think it's set itself up to be a when the meta changes in a game. So StarCraft does this, but it doesn't do it much as it should, really. It tends to just do it around new expansions. You had Wings of Liberty, people would play one way. Then you'd had Heart of the Swarm, and then there'd be little things that were added, like boost to the medevac. It's only a little thing, but it means the medevac's much quicker, so it can do things it couldn't do before, and all of that. And the meta starts changing, so the way people play the game starts changing. And I think Overwatch is shaped up kind of perfectly for this because all they got to do is add a new hero or just make a little change to another hero or something like that. It's like League of Legends in that sense where you can just rapidly change the way the game's played. And of course, as we all know, League of Legends is very... there's loads of champions and they've all got different abilities. You think, how the hell can you balance this? It's like impossible to balance. Well, you don't actually need to balance it. You just need to make sure people are not over the top because then players actually balance it out for themselves with
players
picks and bans. With picks. I mean, like, how would you counter if I've seen things like Bastion? A 5-man Bastion team can't be beat. I read on Reddit and I pissed myself laughing. I'm like, a 5-man Bastion team can't be beat. Well, you just pick. So Pharah can blow Bastion away. Junkrat can absolutely annihilate Bastion.
Yeah.
So why don't you just have a team of Junkrat? I mean, that would counter them. You wouldn't just carry on playing.
This is
Bracer,
the thing. When people
going into the fucking nightmare zone.
When people say, "Oh, this combo can't be beat," what they actually mean is we refuse to change what heroes we were playing.
Yes.
And so we got beat, and it's like, no,
it's Pharah. Pharah Mercy. So the Pharah Mercy one would be Pharah. It flies up in the air with a boost. Mercy uses the left shift to fly it with her, holds space down so Mercy floats, because they can both float, while keeping the damage buff onto Pharah, and Pharah would fire rockets in that would basically one-shot you. And it's like, holy shit, this is OP. It's not, because you just switch to McCree or Soldier and you just mow them down, and then they're dead. And it's like, well, that was easy, because you don't carry on as like, fuck knows, he would be terrible, like Junkrat. Oh yeah, I'll just carry on. Oh, wait a minute, she's flying in the air. Junkrat can't possibly get up to her. So she's just going to kill me.
That's why it always makes me laugh when I see people who are like, I'm going to take Reinhardt because of his shield. and then they have like 2 Pharahs on the other team, and they don't change, and they're getting shot in the back, or from the top, or from the side, and it's like, switch out.
But you see the toxicity, don't you, in the game, where people are like, "Oh, change. Oh, why are you playing this?" And it's like, "Uh-oh." Although they have added a thing in where you can like dislike players now, and you won't get matched with them. Yeah,
that is something. Although that's only get. Cheers, dog. That's something that's going to get worse. Where it's like, oh, change hero, and you're like, well, why? There's always one who says to do it but won't do it themselves. I think in every game that'll happen where it's like, the combo you have isn't working. They know that if someone switches to this other guy, it'll work, but they're not going to be the one to do it because they don't want to play that guy. They want to play the guy they've picked. But I mean, that kind of thing, it will happen in every game. No matter what game it is, that kind of thing will happen. I will say, one of the things I really like with Overwatch doing against Pharah is picking Roadhog. Because you can...
Yeah, because his hook gets it, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have found that actually, when I said before, where like his hook can get rid of max range, it actually can't. I thought it could. But it's like, as she's taking off, or as she's falling, there's any number of sweet spots where, provided she's not way above you, you can just pull her right into you. And if she's just used a shift to fly up, to boost into the air, and you grab her as she's doing it, she's wrecked then. Because she can't fly away. No. She's like the rest of the schmucks. She's just running around at ground level. And at ground level, not that good, really. Like,
especially not with Roadhog with his shotgun in your face, and his hook's around your neck, and he's like... Roadhog's really good, though. I
really want them to change Roadhog, though. All I want is for them to sort out the projectile issue he's got, because it's
a bit weird, ain't it, when you play with him?
If it came out where the gun is, I think I'd be okay with that because that'd make it easier to judge. But it doesn't. It comes out from where his fist is holding the gun. So you've got 2 reference points with Roadhog. You've got the targeting, like the crosshair, which doesn't apply to his left click until you're a certain distance away, or you've got the little silver like thing on his gun, like a little silver horn on the end of his gun. But that isn't where the projectile comes out either. The projectile actually comes out bottom right of the model that shows his gun and his hand holding it. So when you fire, you're actually, if you're right up in someone's face, like right up against them, you're firing out of your knuckles. And that is a really shit reference point, because the number of times I've pulled someone and like my gun is up against them, I'm like, yeah, fired. No. Like 95% of the shot has gone straight past them.
It'll get changed. It'll totally get changed. That stuff like that will. They're just like little stupid bugs. It's like that Genji guy. He's got a crazy bug where if he uses his dash, if you double jump and then dash on the corner of a wall, it for some reason propels him like 3 times the distance. It's just crazy.
He just goes crazy, doesn't it? It's like, and you see people doing it. It's like, oh well, he's gonna cause issues for someone on the other team. You just see him like fly off, and you're, oh shit.
So I guess like
towards you.
Yeah. Or even the weird ones where like you get killed but fly in towards people because it's like a crazy physics bug. It's like, what?
Yeah. I got killed by Reinhardt's ranged attack yesterday. And my body, for some reason, it hit me square in the chest as Junkrat. And it was like getting pulled by Roadhog's hook because my body just flew at him. I was like, holy shit, what the hell was that? It was dead funny to watch, but that's a bit mad. What's happened there?
Well, I mean, other stuff I've messed around with, like Call of Duty, like I kind of said in Hotfix, is I haven't messed around with it too much. I mean, I just quickly jumped in and had a quick look at it. It's quite feature heavy, so I'm gonna play that and then I'll report back next week on a Pubcast about that. Or I may make some videos on the week. We'll see.
I still reckon we should do the co-op campaign together.
Well, I don't know about that. No, because it's too long. We might do the zombie one.
At least try, maybe try a bit of it, but.
Well, the zombie campaign would be better to do because I don't think it's just that's like surviving waves of enemies, but there's actually a story to it. Whereas the single player is, that's going to be a considerable amount of hours of doing that.
Yeah, true.
Views. So yeah, I don't know about that, but I'll report back next week when we've messed around with that. I tried a little bit of Fallout 4 again. When I say try, I played it for about half an hour, and I just thought. I can't get into that game. All the things we covered on a hotfix with the way that game works, its world and all of that stuff. I just, for the life of me, cannot get into it. But I do think I know the text has been sorted out now with the voice, the chat selection. If they can sort the UI out, and there is a Skyrim style UI, or Sky UI style thing for it, not a Skyrim style UI, that'd be terrible. I think I could maybe then get back into it a little bit more. Maybe I don't know, but then I kind of think I'm maybe just forcing myself to get into it because I've become a victim of the hype. I mean, I've streamed it and I've played it for about 6 hours, 7 hours, and I'm still trying to be like, surely it must have something to it.
You disappeared off off Skype,
mine.
And I've got some woman's face. That's right. I've switched out to the desktop. It's just hung up. Oh no, it hasn't. No. How very random. I don't know what happened
fucking
there.
Woman.
It went to for some reason it took away the call.
Some woman. What's going on here?
It's like one of those little adverts, those Skype adverts, where it's like buy credit for Skype. It just went to like the home page of Skype. But I don't know why, because the mouse cursor was on OBS over my microphone because I keep coughing and I'm being very good at muting it every time, and Skype just changed, so you got replaced with a small woman. Don't know why.
Thank you. Great.
But I was like, what the hell? And then when I look over, it says that the call is still active, which is how I've switched back to you. So God knows how that's happened. I've got no idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, warning, warning, warning. Let's talk about 40k, Mr. Kirioth. There's a 40k warning for all you 40k haters out there. So come on then, boy. Where are you with your box of calf? Goodness.
I haven't even started it yet. That's my job for today. I reckon I'm probably going to try and put at least half of it together. But I'm only going to put not the left shoulder, the right shoulder on, because my Forge World guys, my Forge World shoulders, they were supposed to arrive yesterday, and that's when I was going to do it, but they never turned up. I'm going to leave the shoulders off, whichever side it is, because I can't remember which side it is.
There.
Off the top of my head, that's the one. I'm going to leave that off, and then just stick those on when they arrive. And then I've got a can of corn red. So I'm just
pulling stupid faces.
I can. Well, it's a lot easier for me to paint them because I can just spray them the colour they're going to be.
Yeah, well, I can as well with the airbrushy dirtbag. Just a bit of faffing around to mix the paint. But first, listen to this. I have well, hang on. 20 Marines, Tempter Dreadnought, the 5 Terminators, Chaplain, and the Captain, well, the Praetor. I've modelled them together. I've got to do another 10 Marines, but the Marines are really easy to do. Once you get into the swing of doing Marines, you can do them dead quick. I mean, I assembled them in about 2 hours, which is pretty quick for 10 Marines. Like that was getting sprayed as well. But now, what I've been doing is just like base coating them, because I'm going to do... for you guys who watch the 40k streams, which will always go out on Sundays now at 3 p.m. GMT, I don't want to be doing batch painting on those streams because I don't think it's very interesting for people to watch. I don't mind talking about it maybe, but I think people prefer to see like a complete model be painted on the stream. Well, it's hard to paint a complete model on the stream, but paint a model to a point where you can see it's gone from its primer to what it should look like, or very close to what it looks like, instead of doing like, oh, here's 20 Marines, and well, here's 30 Marines it'll be, and I'm going to now paint purple on them all for the next 5 hours. Goodbye. Yeah. That would be like, this is shit to watch. So I think what I might do is just do like the characters on those streams. I also want to get more giveaways and stuff to sort out, and I maybe will start doing more of the newer models and stuff on the stream, so people can get an idea of what's new, and because people always like the new stuff.
Yeah.
It's going quite well though. I mean, I keep finding myself looking at Forge World, and I'm like, because we're sort of all right. Yeah, we can use these armies as 40k armies, so it's like, I mean, I can just use mine as like a loyalist 40k army, or even chaos. I mean, it applies to both of us really. Well, maybe not so much with your guys, because they kind of do have the crazy demon in the book, which because I'm pre-heresy. Well, questionable. They're questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah. But I got the dispatch order for the bronze today.
Yeah.
Because my guys don't have the fancy shoulders like Kiri. Mine have just got a normal shoulder, but I've left the left shoulder, the blank shoulder, and I'm going to attach a brass gold wing to each one. So it should look pretty fancy. I might paint it. I might paint it gold just to bring it in with the other gold, but we'll see. But I think that'll look pretty good, because the Empress children are all fancy fucking wankers from Earth who think they're all hot shit, and really they're just genetically diseased wankers who fucking are obsessed with pleasure and perfection.
I really like what happened with Fulgrim,
and sound,
where it's just like, I've become the first demon prince, and now I'm going to go and found my own magical pleasure palace on a world of pleasure.
What?
Why?
It was his sword, wasn't it? Because I remember the bit. What's the bit in Fulgrim where he goes to one of the Eldar worlds and there's a fucking webway on it, and the Eldar Farsi is telling him, "Son,"
isn't it?
And he's got his sword.
Eldrad? I think it's Eldrad.
Oh, it might be. Yeah,
he meets up with, and he's like, he can't believe
that
he's never heard.
Hang on. Where's he from? He's the black.
It's
Craft World, isn't he? He's the super. Ulwathi or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't believe. He's like, really? You fucking cabbage? And it's like, he don't understand, does he? But his sword's infected with a fucking demon, ain't it?
Yeah, and then he gets tainted by
takes him over. It just takes him over, doesn't it? And he's not even Fulgrim anymore. He's just a fucking dodgy demon.
Except Lorgar knows. After Lorgar has his fight with Korax and nearly dies, he goes and walks with the gods for a bit and tries to work out what's going on. And he gets taken to many different planets and shown many different things of all the powers that he can have. And he's like, okay, I understand everything now. I am now officially the second most powerful Psyker in the galaxy after the Emperor. And then he has a meeting with Horus and all the other traitors. And he looks at Fulgrim and he's like, you're not Fulgrim. So because he's
where's my brother got?
Because he's massively powerful, all the other Primarchs, they can't even react quick enough to stop him. He just runs up to him and just smashes him in the face with his massive mace, and then puts his foot on his chest, and like all his chest's caved in and he's ruined, and he's like, get out of my brother's body or I'll just crush you. And Horus tries to stop him, and I really like the description of it, because Horus is like, he puts his hand on his shoulder and he's like, Lorgar, what are you doing? And Lorgar just psychically goes, get off me. And Horus has to do it. Like, he can't, he doesn't, his body isn't obeying him, he's just obeying Lorgar, and he's like, and has to leave him alone. It's quality. I love that, because it's just like, all the way through like the first Heretic, Lorgar is like a bit piss weak, really.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bitch.
He's just a bit of a bitch. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's lost. He doesn't want to be a warrior. He just wants to, he just goes by faith, and he's like, oh, I don't want to be what my brothers are and all this kind of thing. And then when he gets shown all the wonders of chaos, he suddenly becomes massively powerful, and it's just like, he's just laughing. Like, he laughs at Horus. Isn't
that reflected in the rules as well, ain't it, from Forge World? Yeah, he can be a bitch or he can be solid.
Yeah, you can have Lorgar, who is 375 points and is like,
which is dirt cheap for a Primarch.
Yeah. And he's a Psyker Mastery level 2, but he can't pick what powers he wants. Instead, he has to roll for them, and he only has a choice of 2 different powers. Or you can be Lorgar Transfigured, and you get to pay another 75 points, but he's mastery level 3 as a Psyker, and can just
pick much better than 2.
And he can just pick whatever he likes. He's just like, yeah, I want that power, and that power, and he's like a psychic powerhouse. It's quality. It's crazy. I always used to think that Perturbo was my favourite Primarch out of all of them, just because he's just a bit like, he likes building stuff and creating stuff, and everything he builds is used for something horrendous. And he just thinks, I'm sick of this shit. Everyone else gets all the credit. My boys do all of the legwork and they get none of the credit. I've had enough of this. And that's why he turns traitor, and he just incinerates his homeworld as well. Because they rise up in rebellion. So he just arrives and he just lands the Legion, butchers everybody, and then gets all the remains into a big pile and just burns it and then leaves. And he's like, yeah, fuck this place. I always used to think he was my favourite. But having read through all of the Lorgar stuff, I'm pretty sure Lorgar's my favourite now. Because he doesn't even like... The best thing about Lorgar is, when you read like the Codex and stuff, especially the Chaos Codex, it's like, oh, they're evil because they're evil. They're evil because of the warp, the warp, and the Chaos Gods make them nasty, blah, blah. When you actually look at the origin of all of this stuff, even though the word bearers go full-on demon worshipping, I'm going to summon something using your heart, but you're still alive whilst I'm doing it, Lorgar's like almost regretful when he's
not evil, is he?
He's not evil.
He's not evil. No, he's just like,
it's like, this is not a pleasant truth, but it's the truth nonetheless, and people deserve to know the truth. And everyone else is going, yeah, but your truth involves human sacrifice, and we don't agree with that. And he's like, well, it's not my fault. That's just what it's like, and that's the whole basis of it. And I really like that.
Isn't there something that happens on Cadia before it's Cadia with some crazy monoliths or some shit?
He goes to,
and there's some. Isn't this when he realizes that it's actually quite good to sacrifice people or something crazy like that?
He goes to. They come across Cadia and they find all these tribes.
But it's nothing,
people.
Is it? It's
just like a crappy backwater planet, and there's just like tribes on there, no technological advancements at all, and they've got like purple eyes because the warp storm that turns into the Eye of Terror is above them. like just in the sky. And all the word bearers can read the stuff that these tribes have carved on the walls of the caves and stuff, because they have adepts as custodes with them at that point, because they've been shamed. And the Emperor's like, you need to keep an eye on Lorgar because he's clearly not quite with it. And they find Cadia, and even though the custodes can speak Colchizian, which is the word bearer's language, they can't read what's written, but all the word bearers can read it perfectly. And they're like, what does this say? It's just Colchizian, it's just some poetry. I can't read it. Well, it should be able to. It's just Colchizian. It turns out it's just the language of the warp and the demons. And they've just been like, their language for communicating is like some warp spawn nightmare language that is used to summon stuff out of chaos. I really like the word bearers. I never used to like them because they
ain't that where they butcher them? That's where they butcher the custodes, ain't it, on Cadia?
One of them gets butchered on Cadia.
Doesn't Lorgar annihilate one as well, or something?
No,
or is that
no? He doesn't.
Somebody wrecks one, doesn't he?
No, there's on Cadia, one of them gets murdered by Argyle Tal because he takes out like a good number of word bearers because they're there witnessing the human sacrifice, and he's like, "This is heresy. This is
right.
You're going to surrender yourself." And Lorgar's just like, "Well, they started before I got here," and he's like, "No." So this is heresy.
Because they want to observe it, don't they? They're like, see what happens. It's like, what the hell?
And so he decides to arrest him, and he points his weapon at Lorgar. So the word bearers start attacking.
Yeah,
him.
just wreck him. Yeah,
and he kills maybe 3 of them, and there's only 2 left. But one of them is Argyle Tal, and he doesn't know where he is. And then he finds out where he is because Argyle Tal throws his red iron sword, which is it's like a relic power weapon, and he throws it, and it smashes him in the mouth. And comes out.
And he's still alive, isn't he?
He's still alive. He's still alive, and he's used as the 11th human sacrifice.
It's so stupid.
And then the leader.
If you don't like 40k, go and get some of the Horus Heresy books. They're dead funny.
They're really good. They're really funny.
Going on?
So that meme thing that I read ages ago about about what it's like to go on a voyage into the warp. And you've got a captain of a 10,000-year-old starship. And no one knows how it works. The only way they can get the engines running is by having a guy with robotic legs and a visor pray to a control panel. They prepare to go into the warp by feeding 10,000 slave bodies into the furnaces. They put the shields up to stop the nightmare from just manifesting inside the ship. They go through the warp. Part of the shields fail. They lose 10 million crew. They've only got 1,000 people left. When they come out of the warp, they're 100 years in the past. The captain takes a glass, pours a glass of whiskey, has a cigar, and gives a toast to the bridge for another successful warp jump.
It's fucking stupid.
It's
oh my
so
god,
good. It's so daft.
Isn't it in that one as well? Ain't that where the word bearers they actually cause the Primarchs, don't they, to be scattered? Don't they go through? They're the ones responsible for the fucking Emperor's collapse.
Because the warp is like, it's not in one time. There's like tendrils that go out into the future and the past, and it shows all present events, all past events, and all future events that have and have not happened. So it's just ridiculous. And they get taken to Terra, and they're shown Argyle Tal and the guys who become the Galvorbak, who are like the elite, who also are infused with demons and transform into
got horns and shit coming out of them.
They get taken to the Emperor's laboratory on Terra, and they
underneath the Himalayas, or something. Yeah.
And they see that the Primarchs are in these big incubating like chambers, but also there are Geller fields around them, which is designed to stop the warp from entering. And
which is the shields the ships use, isn't it? When you go into it,
And not only are there Geller fields on there, but also there's like runes and incantations written all over the pods.
Yeah.
And it's because the Emperor has used technology and like warp magic to make the Primarchs. So they smash the Gellerfield generator. So the Chaos Gods like get the incubators and just throw them across the universe. But they keep the reason that Lorgar is the one to fall first and the one who is like the most powerful Primarch of all of them. Literally, by the time the heresy comes around, he's stronger psychically than Magnus, and Magnus is like Magnus Emperor Magnus
super psychic.
Lorgar. By the time it finishes, it's Emperor Lorgar, and everyone else is just a shitter and not even worth talking about. And Lorgar is the one who gets all the power and all the understanding of chaos because he was blessed by the gods originally, because everyone else went straight through the warp, landed on their planets roughly the same time. Lorgar got held in the warp for like hundreds of years in warp time, in the equivalent of real time, but then dumped onto Colchis like at the same time. So the others went in their time, they went there straight away. In his time,
but
he was held there like in stasis, being whispered at and being, corrupted, and then he was thrown down. And so when it comes to him learning all the secrets, he already knows it. He's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm now ridiculously strong. I'll do whatever I like. Thanks very much.
40k, man. I mean, for fuck's sake, you can make it up because somebody did make it up, but I mean, it's just so stupid. It's funny. It's stupid yet funny. Yeah, when you read the books, you always get most of the heresy books that I've read, generally the earlier ones. I know you've read a lot of them.
Yeah.
So there was a really shit one about.
Some of them are not good.
I can't remember its name. Reel off the first couple of ones, and because there was one I didn't read.
Well, the first few was Horus Rising.
Yeah, that's good.
False God.
That's all right as well.
First Heretic, Fulgrim, Flight of the Eisenstein, Mechanicum wasn't that great. Battle for the Abyss again.
No, that was it. That was the shit one. Battle for the Abyss. That was really bad. I thought that was crap.
That was the problem with that is that they didn't set it up in any of the other books. So
no, it just happened.
Just like, here's
a
random ship, and it's not until you get into the storyline where the Word Bearers and World Eaters go and wreck the Ultramarine, the 500 worlds that the Ultramarines have got in their little empire. It's only then that you find out that the Furious
500 worlds.
The Furious Abyss was like one of 3 massive capital ships that were built, and it's only then that you find out that it had any significance. Like the guy with the Furious Abyss, he was going to go straight to Macragge and wreck
just
Macragge.
Kill them. Yeah,
and. You don't find out that was part of a greater plan until like 8 books later or something. So by itself, it was like, this is totally shit. What is the point of this? It's just some arrogant guy with a massive ship, and then his ship gets wrecked. But then you find out later on, it's part of it's supposed to be part of a big planned attack by the Word Bearers, and he thought he was some sort of legend of the Chaos Gods. So he went off and he thought he was hot shit, but he wasn't. He was just crap. It's like Erebus. Erebus thinks he's hot shit, but he's terrible.
Shit, though, don't they?
I really like the fact whenever Erebus gets all uppity, he's like, I think you'll find that me and Corferon introduced you to the true workings of chaos. And Lorgar's just like, yeah, but now I know everything, and you don't know anything.
I know everything.
He's just...
And of course, the Emperor knows even more than him. So why the Emperor didn't sort this mess out to begin with, who knows? It's like, but I know everything. Literally everything.
Yeah.
But why didn't you fix this, Mr. I mean, you watch if the Emperor had a text-to-voice machine.
Yeah.
And it's like, they always take the piss out of that. It's like, but because he's got Magnus Ainey for some reason in his fucking throne room, and he's like, but Father, I think you know everything. He's like, yeah, I'll explain later. And it's like, no, explain now. It's like, no. When the time is right, it's like, what the fuck? And it was actually one of the recent episodes of that was pretty funny because you know how the Emperor's psychic presence is shattered, ain't it? It's not he's he isn't just one guy anymore. And they said to him, Magnus says to him, like, Father, don't you ever talk to the your shattered presence or whatever in the warp? And he's like, And then it goes it cuts away, and there's a bit of the Emperor go, kill the Tau, kill the fucking Tau, they're gonna kill us, kill the Tau, do it now, send the Ultramarines, just go, do it now. And then it goes back to the Emperor, and he's sitting there like, no. It's stupid. It is ridiculous, though. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
I do love it though. It's quality.
As we started with food, we shall end with food. I am now starving. Now we're going to get some to eat because it is a Thursday when we record this, and I don't stream on a Thursday. So when I look at the time, and the time is 5. Well, basically 5 hours. Getting up to.
Yeah.
When I look at the time here, and it's 5. Sorry, I'm like, oh, I best get ready for the stream, and I'd go and make the stream announcement video, work out what I'm playing. Then it's 5:30. Then I'd set up I'd have the green screen set up and everything, and I might grab a quick drink, and then I'd start streaming. But today, no, I look at the time and I go, what am I going to get to eat? Because it's now 5:10, and the working day is finished.
Praise be the Emperor for the end of the working day.
I might go the chippy.
I'll do it. I went the chippy yesterday. Had a battered sausage and chips and mushy peas.
I always like that combo. Mushy peas can be nice.
Also,
that chippy by you when you did it a few years ago.
Oh no, it's good now. It's fine now. They didn't have any battered sausage, so they cooked it fresh. Oh, but fresh battered sausage.
How were the chips compared to that one by me? Because I haven't been to a new chip for ages. Because that one by me, I just keep.
It's weird. The one down the road from me, the chips always look a bit like anemic, like a bit pale. But then when you actually get them out of the shop, I think it's just they've got weird lights in there. They're proper. They're dead nice. They're really, really good. It's like every time I'm like, those don't look very good. But then you unwrap them and they're like a nice golden yellow colour. And they've been like drowned in salt and vinegar. And it's like,
oh yeah. Do you always do the thing of put more vinegar on when you get back? Oh, you put more vinegar?
I used to. I don't do it down there because they do it proper. Also, two slices of bread for a chip and mushy pea sandwich, or get the fuck out. That's my advice to you.
Well, yeah, battered sausage and battered burger as well. I mean, you might think, well, they're a bit dodgy. They're actually quite nice from the chippy. I mean, obviously they're horrendous.
Really nice, but it is like it's just like eating solid grease, but it's really nice.
Liquid. Well, why am I saying liquid? Ain't liquid. Solid lard. Lard. God. You know what? I have not seen a block of lard for years. Lard. Fucking lard. Who uses lard? Do you use lard?
I do not have lard.
No. Lard. It's just basically repackaged pig fat, ain't it? Lard.
I think so.
It's got such an awesome name, and lard. A block of lard. It's like white shit, ain't it?
I like calling people lard bucket.
Imagine eating a block of lard.
Pay me and I'll do it.
On that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, we will end
quid, so I can buy a Leviathan Dreadnought for eating a block of lard.
You want to talk about that? That's overpriced. That is the price of that is crazy. But that doesn't include the arms, does it? That's just the body, ain't it, and the legs.
I think that includes all of it. I think.
No, it don't include the range weapons, does it? It's just the.
Oh god, the
too close
is massively bright.
Too close combat weapons, isn't it?
Let's find out. Hang on. Yeah, no, 72 quid, Leviathan Dreadnought with Storm Cannon and Grav Flux Bombard.
Oh yeah, but if you wanted the other weapons as well, you'd have to buy them.
Oh yeah, you would. But I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd just take the guns because it looks solid. And in fact, it looks that solid.
I tweeted it and it got loads of retweets. Look at this bad
Look
boy.
at that.
Look at this wonder. This wonder.
Look at it. Oh my god. It's on the screen. The people are marvelling. They're marvelling at
Oh
it.
my god.
It's fucking quality.
Just end it with the Dreadnought. They don't even need to see our face.
I'm just going to end it with the Dreadnought looking at them. Thank you
how
very
would
much
he speak,
for watching, ladies and gentlemen.
How would he speak the Dreadnought? Do it in his voice. Do it in his voice.
I'm not doing that. My voice is
Dreadnought
wrecked.
voice.
I'll die. You do it.
No. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
They've interred the Queen in a Dreadnought sarcophagus.
Isn't it a rage prison or something? That one.
Yeah,
doesn't it mess with the brain?
It's got all Dark Ages technology shit in it, so it drives them mental. So the chapter master of the Legion has to say whether it's allowed out or not because it might murder everybody, including its own team. Yeah, 40k. That is it for the podcast, anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Come back on Thursday for Hotfix, and then come back next Saturday for the next podcast. And obviously, you loved it because you obviously loved it.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Why not? Don't answer that. Say goodbye to the Dreadnought.
Bye, Dreadnought.